blackscholarspublishing.com.
Step into our kingdom. It's the Three Bitter Kings podcast.
Bloody murder, murder, bloody murder, murder,
Welcome back to the Three Bitter Kings podcast. I am Leonard Andre Wilson. Next to me, to the right of me,
you get William Bryan Weed, and to the right of me, you get
Tyler Alexander Hildreth. What's good, y'all? We back.
We back in this motherfucker.
episode 17.
Chicka, yeah. We got
That's definitely not the name of the episode, but go ahead.
Name of this episode is going to be hashtag mute Robert nasty old ass motherfucking
pedophile ass,
bitch ass,
gay ass,
faggot ass.
Whoa.
Kelly.
Whoa. Calm down. Perfect. Now, one thing R.Kelly is technically not is a pedophile. A pedophile likes to prey on prepubescent girls or boys. He's just a sick man, and he pees on people.
Now, prepubescent,
it doesn't leave
kids.
A piece of skin without piss on it.
God damn, you must have one hell of a bladder.
Now, Tyler, by prepubescent, you mean kids?
Yes.
Like under the age of 12? 12
yeah, usually, that's just about where the cutoff is. He just made it with the 13-year-old that he peed on. So
yeah, he liked teenagers. As Torre asked him.
I thought she was like 14. But, wow. 13.
All right, let's get into the shits. So, surviving R.Kelly. Standing ovation, applause to Lifetime for the work that they did with this docu-series. Everyone under the sun, under the moon has seen it, has talked about it, has dissected it, has analyzed it. And now it's our turn. As only we can do. So, before we get into the docu-series in detail, let's look at some current events. And you guys feel free to chime in and stop me when you want to. So on Good Morning America, this past Friday, R. Kelly's lawyer, Stephen Greenberg, threatened to sue Lifetime for defamation. He claims R. Kelly didn't know Aaliyah was 15. Now, here's what we call bullshit. Here's what we call bullshit. We know R. Kelly knew she was 15 because if you watch the docu-series, what was that, his manager? The old black guy?
His former road manager.
His former road manager admitted on camera, documented, recorded and televised for millions and millions of people to see, that, I forged Aaliyah's documentation to say she was 18 when she was really 15.
15. Yeah.
Not only that, but R. Kelly's connection to Aaliyah was through her uncle. Her uncle. She still went to high school. She still lived with her parents. How could you possibly confuse her for 18? And that's not to say that an 18-year-old can't still live with their parents and can't still be in high school. But still, she wasn't 18, dude. Oh, I didn't know she was 15. I thought she was 14. Sick bastard.
Sick fuck.
So not only that. Fuck. So let's go into that a little bit more before we move on. Lifetime wants the smoke. If you guys don't know, listeners, Lifetime is owned by the one and only Disney.
Disney.
Disney owns Lifetime. And we'll get into this topic a bit later, but allegedly, R. Kelly's net worth is down to $1 million, which is crazy. We'll talk about that in a sec. Down to $1 million, which for a normal person is like, shit, I wish my net worth was $1 million.
Damn
But
right.
not when you're R. Kelly, 52 years old. You've written hit after hit after hit after hit, not only for
We're for
yourself,
legends.
but for other artists. He has so many number ones, so many top 40s, so many gold and platinum singles and albums, and toured all over the world. For R. Kelly at the age of 52 to only be worth $1 million is crazy. And we'll talk about why he's
total
only
mismanagement of funds.
Oh, we'll talk about that. Oh, we're gonna get into that.
Nah,
I can't wait to get into that.
It's more to it, dog.
It's more to it, dog. We're gonna talk about that money talk. But before we do you a person is on net worth is only $1 million. You think that scares Disney? You think that scares Lifetime? They don't give
Disney
a
is
fuck
a
about
billion-dollar name.
Their fucking retainers for their lawyers are probably $1 million a month. Alone. Guaranteed. R. Kelly, if you want to go to war, and Drake said it best, it takes money to go to war. It takes serious money to go to war. You're not ready to deal with their lawyers. That's almost like that's like breaking in somebody's house. Let's say you like to break in people's houses, right? And in the midst of breaking in somebody's house, they leave something wet on the floor. And you slip, twist your ankle, and break your spinal cord. And then you try to sue them.
You're fucked.
You're in the middle of a crime, and you're trying to sue them. No, homie. Lifetime is like, come on with the smoke. Please, get the cops involved. Get the courts involved. Get a judge involved and lawyers involved. You committed crimes. R. Kelly don't want that smoke. So please, Steven Greenberg, shut the fuck up. Okay? Not only that, so we have 2 states collecting evidence and investigating. State Attorney Kimberly M. Fox, she has opened up to the public and pleaded, if you have any information regarding R. Kelly, his sex cult, or any other illegal activities he might be doing, please contact my office. And she's in Cook County, Chicago, by the way. So they're looking at, let's go after him again. Now, for our legally savvy listeners out there, shout out to Jessica Esquire, Lawyer Bay. For those who are legally savvy, you might be saying, well, that's fucking double jeopardy. It's not double jeopardy. He had 21 counts of child pornography. If Illinois is going to dig up evidence and try him again, they're not going to try him on child pornography. They can try him on kidnapping. They can try him on, what's the other one besides kidnapping? What's the shit we were talking about earlier with Roy Will? False imprisonment? False imprisonment.
False imprisonment.
We can do physical assault. We can do sexual assault. We can do harassment. It's going to depend on what evidence they can come up with, what witnesses they actually have. Mm-hmm. So police actually went to his home. You know where he's living at now in Chicago? He's not in Atlanta anymore. You know where he's living at? This shit is sick. Where? This proves how sick he is. This motherfucker is living at the Trump Tower in Chicago, y'all. The Trump Tower.
What?
Yes.
Now that I didn't know. Oh,
net worth down to $1 million. And this motherfucker living at the Trump Tower.
Of all places.
Of all places.
But you know something though? That's probably the best place he can be at because you know nobody from the urban community or the black community is going to be there.
More than likely not, unless they're working there.
Huh?
Unless they're working there. And
I really hope nobody from the urban community is working at the Trump Tower. I don't know how much it costs to be in the Trump Tower, but I assume it's pretty expensive.
That's who he is. So then Georgia is also involved, Fulton County. So they're also looking for evidence, and of course, that's what the whole TMZ thing with the sex cult. Allegedly, he had 6 sex slaves or women living with him in Atlanta, Georgia, and so they're digging up evidence as well too. Now, obviously, he was acquitted from child pornography charges. As I said, it was 21 of them. He was acquitted from in 2008. Right now, he's allegedly holding a sex cult. BuzzFeed, Jim DeRogatis is the journalist that basically is getting the praise for opening up to the public, discovering this sex cult that's going on. The issue with law enforcement actually being able to enforce this is with the sex cult. It's difficult to prove psychological control, because that's basically, because anytime they do, and they mention this in the docu-series, a quote-unquote wellness check, every time they do the wellness check, they go look for the women, and the women say that they're fine. And actually, that just happened recently. I think this past Wednesday. So Friday. No. Actually, that was Friday. So when they went to his home, they were looking for 2 particular women. And I think one of the women, if you guys remember from the docu-series, help me out. What is the name of the girl who was on TMZ? That said that she was fine and her family's been looking for her.
Say that one more time. You went in and out.
What was the name of the girl that her father and mother haven't seen her in forever? And she said she was fine. She went on TMZ. Savage. Jocelyn Savage. Yeah, they had a weird pronunciation of her name. I'm like, that's Jocelyn, nigga. No, Jocelyn. So Jocelyn Savage.
Wait, quick question. Was the one who shaved her head and dressed like a dude? Wasn't her name Dominique?
Yes, we'll talk about Dominique later.
Okay, yeah. Right.
So Jocelyn Savage's parents, and I think another set of parents, they alerted the police. There's been tips going in nonstop, especially since, again, State Attorney Kimberly M. Fox asked for tips. And so they went to his home, and the 2 women said that they were fine. So that's the shit that they're battling against. It's like, how can you prove that these women are being kidnapped, or the false imprisonment, or any of the harassment or the physical harm that they detailed in the docu-series, if there are no women that are speaking out against it, that are actively in it? Because all of the women that we saw, on the docu-series, they're out of the house. They're gone. The only one that I think they really could use in an active court case might be Dominique, and we'll talk about Dominique in a second. So there is a case in New York against a group called, I can't pronounce it. It's spelled NXIVM, NextVM, NextEvim. So basically that was a sex cult in New York. They were forcing women into sexual slavery. They used explicit photos and other quote-unquote forms of collateral against the women. So if the women ever spoke out or tried to leave the sex cult, that's when they would release photos, videos, whatever they had against them. So that's very similar to what R.Kelly was doing, because him and his team had women write false statements to either incriminate themselves or their parents. That was revealed on the docu-series. So if you left or if you spoke out against, they would threaten them with releasing that, or they get the police involved. Or, of course, R. Kelly tapes all of his sexual encounters with women. So no one wants their sex tape with nasty R. Kelly being released. Okay? Not only that, so R. Kelly is still under an actual lawsuit. If you guys remember the last one, you guys remember Faith Rogers, the pretty dark-skinned girl at the end? The younger one?
Yes.
And so Faith Rogers, she is suing him right now. That's the one who said R. Kelly gave her herpes.
Yes.
So that's a crime because you can't give someone an incurable sexually transmitted disease or give them a sexually transmitted disease and you know about it and you don't
Yeah.
inform them about it ahead of time. So her and her lawyer is saying it's non-consensual oral vaginal intercourse. She detailed how, they met after a concert, they were talking, texting, all that stuff. He flew her out to New York. I think he did a show. He had her in a hotel. He was knocking on the door like crazy, and then they had the encounter. Now, here's the crazy thing, and we might get some backlash from this, but I don't give a damn because this is the type of podcast that's about the truth. So we're gonna go ahead and just speak our truth. So she's claiming, her lawyer is claiming non-consensual oral vaginal intercourse, but she stayed in a relationship with R. Kelly for a year after.
Yeah.
If you really were raped, if you really were, now I get the whole herpes thing, like that's different. But if you're saying that it was non-consensual, essentially that's rape. She never got, she never got a what is it, rape kit. She never went to the hospital with a rape kit. She never called the police. Never did any of that, and stayed in a relationship with him for an entire year. What's up with that? Now, to me, that almost seems like a money grab, like after the fact.
That's exactly what it sounds like. Like who in their right mind would stay in a relationship with somebody who raped them? That don't make sense.
Right.
You'd be surprised.
But do you think, Tyler, that she has an actual case? Like, is that really rape if you stay with somebody in a relationship?
No, I'm gonna be honest. The majority of the people that were on that show don't have a case because they were basically selling their children or selling themselves.
Yeah.
To be with a celebrity. I mean, I was talking to my wife about it, and I'm just like, man, like some of these people just like, hey, you let your 16, 17-year-old daughter go with R. Kelly on tour. Like, what kind of shit is that?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they should be held. They should be held accountable for that as well.
Now you outside throwing rocks at a window in Chicago. Like,
yeah,
come on,
like the was it Jocelyn that they took her? Yeah, whatever. Jocelyn. is that the one that they took to an R. Kelly concert for like her 16th birthday?
No,
was that her? Okay.
Wait. Hold on, let me research. Keep talking.
But anyway, what I was gonna say was, who the fuck takes their 15 or 16-year-old daughter to an R. Kelly concert for their birthday, knowing that all he sings about is sexual shit? Like, what sense does that make? Oh yeah, I'm gonna take my teenage daughter to a sexual predator's concert who has allegedly had sex with underage women in video.
But you know what the funny part is? The fact that they were like, well, I heard the rumors. That's like one of the chicks, the older chick that was like 35 or something like that. She was like, I heard the rumors about him, but people just talk. I'm like, bro, if you hear rumors, like multiple rumors about somebody, why on earth would you be with them? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that doesn't add up. So it's almost like they're basically holding their daughter up, like, hey, R. Kelly, here goes my underage daughter.
This is not. It's not a job.
Yeah,
you're a person. You can use extreme prejudice in not choosing R. Kelly of all people.
Right.
Like, come on, man.
All right, I got the information, y'all. So Jocelyn first met R. Kelly in 2015 when she was invited to go backstage at one of his concerts. She was 17. When we got to go backstage with R. Kelly, we stayed there over 2 hours, recalled her mother. One-on-one with just me and my daughter and him. We went back to talk about the music. He listened to her CD. He was going to help her with her CD. And I was really impressed with him at first because I've always been an R. Kelly fan. A few years later, TMZ reports that Jocelyn's father, Timothy, arranged for her to go stay with the singer as a means of furthering her aspiring career as a musician. The alleged plan was to have Jocelyn stay at Kelly's Chicago house to develop as a performer under his tutelage, and that Timothy was the one who dropped her off at her friend's house to be driven to Kelly's. Jocelyn gradually began to cut off contact with her parents. And that's the exact same thing that happened with, what's the other girl that could actually sing for real? The dark-skinned girl out of Florida. And her parents were throwing the rocks at the end.
I forget her. I know exactly what you're talking
Something,
about. I forget her
is it
name.
Clary, or she has a very unique name. But she could actually sing for real. And so allegedly with her, R. Kelly and her, when I guess she was 17, had sex the first time that they were alone. And then obviously when she turned 18, then she distanced herself from her family as well too. All right, let's get into the docu-series. What are your overall thoughts? Like, what are some takeaways that you got from watching that six-part series?
I mean, first and foremost, R. Kelly is definitely a sick man. Like by far. Like this shit is like beyond of what I already thought of him as being a sick man. My only question is, we already knew this, so why is it that people have waited this long to make this series about R. Kelly? Is my question. I mean, because he's basically been like this his whole career, which has been over 20 years, over 20 years long. You know, when they go back to him, going to the high schools and shit, when he would come out tour to pick up young women. Why is this documentary, just not being put together on him? Why did this happen earlier?
Well, a couple of things with that. A lot of celebrities got skeletons in their closet. They don't want that shit to come out, so they ain't saying nothing. If you notice, there's a few people that can't really come out and say nothing. And also, people don't care. People want to. They don't really care. They could care less. I mean, we knew. I think I was in middle school when that video came out of him.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was
seriously. I was
ago.
I was like in 6th, 7th grade, some shit like that. When that
was over 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We've been knew R. Kelly was sick, bro.
Right.
That is nasty. And then he even went to court and everything over it, and somehow didn't go to jail. I didn't understand that either.
Well, they explained too. They explained in the docu-series. Sparkle went during her testimony. She took the stand and said that it was indeed her niece, and it was indeed R. Kelly, and that she introduced her niece to R. Kelly. R. Kelly was supposed to be mentoring and helping this girl with her musical career. But after she went, then her brother went, and I'm assuming the brother, I don't know if that would be the girl's uncle or if that was the girl's dad. But Sparkle's brother went on stand under oath and said that was not, I think it was the dad, and said that was not his kid. Or maybe it was the uncle and said that was not his niece. That part I gotta go back and watch. I'm not sure. But a very prominent member in her family said that wasn't, so you got one person saying it was and the other person saying it wasn't. And so then when you start thinking about, from a legal standpoint, the burden of proof, if there is question or doubt in the jury and judge's mind about, is that really her? Is that really him? Because R. Kelly threw his own brother under the bus, basically.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I remember that
too.
And go ahead. No, I guess allegedly, he was trying to pay people off. He was trying to pay Sparkle off to go on the stand and lie. He was trying to pay his brother $100,000 or something like that to lie. And it's he built this ecosystem of predatory behavior. Every city he went to, they hit the mall. If he couldn't go to the mall because he had to do his rehearsals or whatever before his actual concert performance, he would send his team to the local mall and bring girls back for the concert and to stay afterwards. So he had a team around him of people who enabled this type of behavior. They need to go to jail just as fast as he does.
And that was that was the other thing I was going to say. How the hell do you have all these people knowing these girls are young and all this, and they bringing them to, and they protecting them?
And this right here really explains why his net worth is so low at his age. Because he was paying these people to do this shit. And he was paying all these people off, like whoever you said who took the stand to say that that wasn't R. Kelly and that wasn't his child or his
Sparkle's
niece.
brother.
Yeah. Yes, Sparkle's brother. You know good and damn well R. Kelly paid his ass to say that, because
paid the whole family.
Right, yeah. R. Kelly getting off on that case, or getting acquitted rather, is equivalent to the O.J. Simpson trial, honestly. Because it is no fucking way that was not R. Kelly in that video. It was a clear shot of his face in that video. So it was no way that he should have got off on that.
Yeah, one thing I want to comment on that, Will, you just said, is his net worth. So not only was he paying these people around him, this team around him, he had actual police officers that worked for the Chicago police force on his payroll. When parents would come and ask about these wellness checks, when parents would complain and, say stuff about him, the statutory rape charges and stuff like that, he knew all of this well in advance because he was paying off actual policemen. Not only that, he was paying off these families. And so in Cook County, where Chicago is, it was open for the public, for anyone to go in and look at this case, that case, this case, that case. I cannot find the article. It was a long report. It wasn't the one that everyone is talking about with the Jim DeRogatis, the journalist for BuzzFeed. That's when that article talked about the sex cult. There was another article, and I'm telling you, I cannot find it online. I don't know if his legal team had it removed. I can't remember if it was Deadspin or Pitchfork. It was one of those magazines that kind of focus on the indie side of the industry. But for whatever reason, they did this long report on R. Kelly where they physically went to Cook County's court system and they pulled those records. There's a gag order on them now, so you can no longer look at those. But it was over a dozen settlements documented in Chicago from the girls that he has slept with that were underage. Like Will said, and I'm from Milwaukee, so I'm 92 miles away from this stuff. So I first started hearing about this stuff when I was a kid. That's when I first started hearing about it. Before it came out to the public. Before that damn, and I'm going to say this much, and this doesn't make me holier than thou. I have never seen his sex tape. I have never seen his sex tape. When it was trendy and everybody was running to go see it, it was online, and you could buy the DVD and all that stuff. I have never seen that sex tape because I knew there was a kid on there.
I never saw the part where he urinated on the.
I never seen any of it, bro.
On the girl, but
I only saw. I snippet. I seen that snippet. I seen the snippet of him peeing on the girl, and I was like, "What is?" That's all. That's the only thing I can remember seeing. I seen maybe 2 minutes of the video, and I was like, "That's pretty gross."
Actually, the only two parts I saw was where he was receiving oral sex, and he was eating this woman's butt for. Anyway, that's
I haven't seen any of
it. Seriously, he was that. He was seriously eating this woman's butt, and he was receiving oral sex from her.
Let's change that language. We're gonna say what it is. He was eating this little girl's butt. That's the reason why I ain't see it. I don't want to see a grown ass man having sex with kids. That shit is nasty, bro. There is nothing attractive about a 14-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old. They look like fucking kids. They look like kids. Now, I will say in 2018, 2019, when you start talking about maybe a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old, depending on the makeup, depending on her physique or whatever like that, she looks older. But if you look close enough in the face, you can tell she young as hell. There's clues, nigga. You can tell
a simple conversation.
Bruh, she got a Michael Kors bag. Ain't no grown woman walking around with no Michael Kors bag. You know what I'm saying? She still got the look.
Now, wait a minute. There's a peak.
But y'all know what I mean,
Never
right?
say
Like,
never.
she still got a Hello Kitty bag. Like, ain't no grown ass woman walking around with a Hello Kitty bag.
The
You know what I'm
freaks do.
saying? She ain't got no car. She don't have a car.
Hey, there's a lot of niggas ain't got no cars. So, I
Hey,
mean,
they fucking kids too. Grow up, nigga. You know what I'm saying? No,
that's
seriously
cool.
though. Seriously. So, damn, there's so many
We
different
seriously
ways
need
we
to
can
tell
go
this
with
day
this.
soundbite. Anyway, go ahead.
There's so many different ways we can go with this. I want to say this much. The reason why I did not watch it, again, because there's a kid. Again, I'm 92 miles away. I'm a fucking kid. And I'm hearing about R. Kelly coming off tour, pulling up at his old high school. I wish I could find this report. I wish I could find this article. It was so long, but I read every single word of it, and I couldn't put it down. I couldn't stop reading it because I
When
was
was this article
baffled.
published?
Bro, it was years ago. It was years ago. I can't find
Mm-hmm.
it for the life of me.
I
And like,
remember I've heard a few people talk about that though. Like, you're not the only person that said that. I've heard a couple other people talking about he used to go to his high school and pick up girls from there, like
yeah,
ride up in a Bentley or whatever. And
bro, but
Like
let's
that.
keep it real. Let's keep it real. And Will, we had this conversation earlier. In the hood, okay, in the black community, hell, it's not even the black community. This is an American thing. This might be a universal thing. When guys graduate high school, okay, they are still checking for younger girls. That's normal behavior. But we're not talking
I mean,
about we're not
when I
talking
was in
about
high
some
school,
uh-huh.
when I was in high school, I would see guys who graduated like a year or two before I did, come back up to the school and be like checking out the seniors and the juniors and shit. But that's only like a year or two age difference. What we're talking about with R. Kelly is like a fucking 15, 20-year difference.
even then, I never did that. But I do. I can definitely remember girls that were in high school like having sex with grown men, like
Yeah.
people in their mid-20s, late 20s, and I was always like, "What kind of? That's some weird shit." Even back
Yeah,
then in
and
high
you know
school, I knew that
something?
was weird.
Yeah, you know something? It was a female friend of mine who I remember her telling me. She was like, yeah, I get this guy that's in college, and she's like fucking she's like fucking 16, 17, and dude was like fucking 23. I'm like
Yeah,
what?
that's some weird shit. That's like
Yeah.
that's odd behavior for a dude. That means you're not mature because you can't even pull college chicks. Why the hell would
Right,
you be in
yeah.
college trying to get chicks in high school? What kind of shit is that?
Now let's keep it a buck. R. Kelly could pull older women. He didn't
Yeah,
want old bro.
he
He
was on
didn't
top of the
want them.
world. Yeah.
He didn't want them. He wanted the
That
young
man's sick.
girl.
That man is sick, man.
That's
Look
sick.
at
Sickness.
bro. Let me pull up Aaliyah's track listing on her first album. Let me pull this shit up. What's Aaliyah's first album called? Ain't it AJ Nothing But a Number?
Yeah, AJ Nothing But a Number. Yeah.
Let me pull this shit up, the track listing. Because
While you're
I
doing
was
that,
listening to
I
this the
find
other
it
day.
really weird that one is 4-page love letter. Is that on that album?
No. So
I'm not
all
sure.
of Aaliyah's, I'm going to say this. First of all, her debut, borderline classic. Fuck R. Kelly, but that's a fucking borderline classic. But like 4-page letter, 1 in a Million, Rock the Boat, those are on albums that we cannot buy unless you physically go buy the album. Now, if you know where I can actually go to a store and buy a CD, please let me know. Because Best Buy don't even sell CDs anymore. Okay?
They sure don't.
But you can't
Hey, what
go.
about that place? Real quick, what about that place on
You're going to say something real local?
Poplar and in Highland?
Close.
I know how you're
City?
talking about.
Close, nigga.
Yeah. Huh?
Close, nigga.
It's closed down.
Close.
Okay.
Yes. I knew you were going to say something local. Sorry for our listeners outside of Memphis. But there are, don't we have something at Wolf Chase Galleria?
There used to be some record store there that sells. I can't think of the name of it.
It's
Is it still open?
You're talking about FYE or some shit.
Is it still open?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Foot Locker now.
Oh, wow. You're absolutely right.
That's closed up.
Yeah, so maybe Amazon, maybe eBay, you can go to buy the CD. And that's a whole nother
maybe so.
That's a whole nother topic and show for us to get into Aaliyah's estate and why the hell her best music is not available. Like
None of her music is on Apple Music.
I literally the other day went onto iTunes preparing to pay $9.99 or more for the One in a Million album. And guess what, guys? This shit's not there.
Which that's another thing. That's why her biopic was so trash, because they couldn't use any of her music on there.
Right, because they had like Timberland and Missy's character on there, and like the production was trash because that wasn't a Timberland beat. They
Terrible.
tried to make it like that's not how Timberland produces. But anyways, fuck. So looking at her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number was the single. That's sick. At Your Best, You Are Love. That's sick too. No one knows how to love me quite like you do. I'm so into you. Oh, look at number 10. Number 10, Young Nation. Number 12, I'm Down. 13, The Thing I Like. And 14, Back and Forth. It's an R.Kelly remix. Sick bitch.
Wow.
Fuck R.Kelly, man. Real shit.
And do you remember? Do you remember when the I can't remember the woman who kept changing her hair in like every scene on the documentary. Like she had braids and then she had like a fucking ugly ass wig on the next scene.
Wait, which one are you talking about? One of his former employees? His backup singer?
Yeah, his backup singer. Yeah.
What about her?
Yeah. You remember she said that she allegedly walked in on R. Kelly having sex with Aaliyah when Lee was like
15.
No, she was younger. 15 was when they married, but when
they
she
got married
said
after he took her virginity.
For some reason, I want to say she said Aaliyah was like younger when she walked in on them having sex.
Like 14?
Shit, yeah, like 13, 14, some shit like that.
I don't think she was around R. Kelly when she was 13. I could be wrong. But I know she was around R. Kelly when she was 14, 15. I'm pretty sure after he took her virginity is when they got married. And I'm not saying when she walked in and seen them, that was when he took her virginity. I'm not saying that. Because he could have been hitting it before that. I mean...
Man, fucking Aaliyah's family, man, talk about some fucking scum of the earth type motherfuckers. They allowed that shit, too.
Just like you said before.
Aaliyah's mother did write a statement denying that, though, about
she said they never had sex.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. They got married. They had sex.
Yeah, right.
And they weren't married for like a day. Nigga, they was married for like 2 months. They had sex. Guaranteed.
Just going back to thinking about it, man. Aaliyah was 15 and R. Kelly was, 27?
27 years old, yep.
That is some fucking sick shit, dude. To have somebody forge the age, bro, just so they can legally get married. Like, that is some beyond sick shit, bro.
And then you have your attorney in 2019 say he didn't know the legal age of Aaliyah. Shut the hell up.
And R. Kelly, like, when it comes to him trying to hide it, R. Kelly's not really smart about hiding it. He's really not.
R. Kelly's not smart, period.
He ain't smart.
I mean, he can't fucking read, so I mean...
Right. No, he's not smart, period. Now, he is a musical genius, but who gives a fuck? Like, who gives a fuck?
Right.
And you know what? Let me put myself to the cross. Go ahead.
Is R. Kelly, like... Do you think he's on the spectrum?
Like, for retardation?
Like, do you think he has, like... Do you think he's, like Asperger's or something? Like, he's a musical genius, but he can't read and write.
Right. There's an argument that could be made there. There's an argument that can definitely be made there.
But another thing is this, like, I mean, we're calling him a musical genius, but his songs are inspired by young women.
Right.
Like that it really discredits his genius.
All right, let's talk about it. So I'm gonna put myself out there. Everyone in the world knows that I am a huge fan of XXX Extension. Okay.
I was like, you better finish that up.
So, when X died, like, I took that shit tough. I've been playing his music on the podcast. I play his music in real life. Like, I love X's music. Okay? I fucking love his music. The feedback or backlash against X is based on the shit he did while he was alive. Now, toward the end, he was making some changes as far as growth, maturity, accountability, but he did some foul shit as far as abusing women, harassing women. And I seen some research that says basically black girls are black women, and we can even go and look at the shit that Chance the Rapper said about this whole situation, because he apologized for working with R.Kelly before, and he said he didn't necessarily believe the girls because they were black girls, because they were black women. And that opens up an entire discussion that would probably take 15 hours. But
right.
I have to apologize for anyone that might feel offended by me bigging X up, playing his music, promoting him. I can't do that anymore. And Spotify last year tried to do that shit. They took X music off of their streaming service. They took R. Kelly's music off their streaming service. Anybody that had anything to do with abuse or alleged with a crime against women, they took it off. It only lasted 3 weeks because there was a lot of industry backlash, a shitload of industry backlash. And as Tyler said previously, there is a shitload of artists who were near R. Kelly, who worked with R. Kelly, who had friendships with R. Kelly. They haven't said a word. And the reason why they haven't said a word, people, is because they have skeletons in their own fucking closet. They don't want nobody digging through their shit. They don't want nobody digging through their shit. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it, Jay-Z. We love Hov. He's like an uncle to us. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's like a fucking uncle to us. Like, I felt like Jay-Z, like, between Reasonable Doubt all the way now to 444, like, I've seen this man grow. This man has been inspiration. I've aspired to become a businessman like him, to be a creative like him. And he's got to say something. Because he was around R. Kelly. And rumors have been around forever that before Aaliyah met Dame Dash and fell in love with Dame Dash, allegedly, she dated Jay-Z. I don't know how old she was. Her and Jay-Z had some type of relationship. There also were rumors about Foxy Brown and Jay-Z. And we talked about this with the Dame Dash Nick Cannon interview. That conversation they had, Nick Cannon asked Dame Dash a question that kind of, almost like a rhetorical question, where it's like, how old was Foxy Brown when you guys signed her to Rockefeller? And it's like, damn, wasn't she 16? And the rumors always have it, and Nick Cannon said himself, well, when I met them, I thought they had something going on. The same thing with Biggie and Lil' Kim. You know when Lil' Kim, her album cover, wasn't that her album cover where she had her legs open and she was in her underwear?
Yeah.
They said she was 16.
She was 16 in that
They
in
said
that
she
picture?
was 16.
Wow.
So let's keep it real. The industry is fucking sick. The black community is fucking sick. This predatory behavior has got to stop. It's one thing if you graduate from high school and maybe a year or two later, you're still interested in talking to a junior or senior. That's one thing. That's one thing. But unless y'all both legal, both over the age of 18, leave that shit alone. If you can't find nobody that interests you and it's this one girl, but she's 2 years away from being legal, I hate to say this sick shit, but my nigga, wait till she 18. Like, just wait. Like, we've got to do something. We've got to do something to protect these black girls, these black women. Like, nobody gives a fuck. They keep saying hashtag mute R. Kelly. There is no mute R. Kelly. His fucking
This shit
stream,
goes.
bro. His streams went up like 3 million
Yeah.
in 1 week. And we get it because the docu-series and everybody is talking about it. It's the content of choice for everyone, from the news to podcasts to YouTube creators. But for his shit to triple like that, that's the reason why RCA is not dropping his ass. And they're probably not going to drop his ass. They're going to keep him on that label. He's still a moneymaker. The black community, we forget. We joke about shit. I love Dave Chappelle. But Dave Chappelle shouldn't have never did that skit. I love Aaron Magruder and
That
the
is
fucking
one of his funniest
Boondocks.
skits, I must say.
I love the Boondocks. I love Aaron Magruder. That's one of the best shows ever. And I don't want to say they shouldn't have done it, but they shouldn't have done it. We've made light
I'm gonna
of the
disagree with you
situation.
on the Boondocks because if you it's a satire, and if you really think about a lot of the episodes, like the Martin Luther King episode,
Oh, they dropping knowledge.
Some of the episodes of Uncle Ruckus, they're really just personifying the stuff that goes on in the black community.
Agreed.
Like, I was looking at the R. Kelly episode the other day, like a piece of it, and they're like, and Huey's like, what the hell is wrong with y'all?
Yeah, what is wrong with y'all?
He's
Why
like,
y'all dancing in the courthouse?
Yeah, like that, and you know what? If you really think about it, he's just telling it like it really is, and how it has been. That show was ahead of its time. I'm not even gonna lie.
I 100% agree. But my whole thing is we've made light of it so much. That's the reason why R. Kelly did the fucking Trapped in the Closet series. And if you look at the docu-series and the people who were closest to him, every time he creates a song, he's telling on himself. Every time he creates a song. So one of my favorite R. Kelly songs actually was off of the TP2.com album. Actually, let me pull up that track listing right now. But it's called The Greatest Sex. The song is beautiful. It's a beautiful song.
The best sex I ever had or whatever.
No, nigga, it's called The Greatest Sex.
Oh.
I know what song you're talking about. Those are two different songs. But that's a good song too. You're talking about that song was on One of the Best of Both Worlds is the song you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
The song I'm talking about is on TP2.com. But let me just run through this track listing real quick. The intro, banger. Strip for You, that was number 2. Banger. R&B Thug, banger. My favorite song, The Greatest Sex, number 4, banger. Number 5, I Don't Mean It, classic. Like a Real Freak, classic. Fiesta, classic. Don't You Say No Tonight, classic. I Wish I got the kids on the hook, classic. A Woman's Threat, classic. Feeling on Your Booty, fucking classic. But while we're enjoying this music, we're enjoying this artistry in reference to girls and women of age, right? He talking about, bro, he on some other shit.
Yeah.
Feeling on Your Booty, he probably talking about Aaliyah. He probably talking about Aaliyah. 15-year-old Aaliyah. He probably reminiscing in some shit when he made that. What year did this come out, matter of fact? Because Aaliyah died when? 2001?
2001, 2002, something
2001.
like that.
She still was alive when this came out. This came out November 7, 2000.
So a year before she died.
She died that following summer.
Right.
So, man, let me ask y'all this. Is R. Kelly a sociopath?
From a definition, no, he's not a sociopath. He's just, I think he has some kind of mental, I don't know what to call it, but he has something wrong with him mentally, because just like any predator, there's something inside of you that it's like a calling to him to just keep doing this stuff, even though he knows it's wrong.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, he knows it's wrong because he knows to pay people off and try to cover it up. But it's almost like, oh yeah, go ahead.
Don't get me wrong. He does do sociopathic stuff. Like, he does try to manipulate. He sounds like he manipulated some of these people. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna say a lot of these women made a choice, and a lot of their family members made choices to let them be with him, or people stayed with him, and he was upfront with a lot. If you look at the story, he's upfront with a lot of them. He said, "Hey, I got basically like a community. I got multiple girls. One." He was upfront with a lot of them. So if you are staying around at that point, I feel like that's on your own.
Yeah, but there was some other shit there. There were some threats. There was some physical harm. It wasn't just him. Again, he has a team around him. Allegedly, old girl. I can't think of her name. It's gonna kill me. The girl that can actually sing, and her parents were throwing the rocks at the window. Out of Florida, that girl with a very unique name, she ran away. According to Dominique, she ran away in Chicago. And they said they found her running down the street or whatever, grabbed her and brought her back. And so she can't be around the other girls anymore. And so that's when, if they can actually prove that shit, that's what the state attorney is looking for. Because then at that point, yeah, that's like false imprisonment. That's kidnapping. That's holding someone against their will. That's a criminal charge if you can prove that. So let me run through some of the traits of an actual sociopath according to the DSM-5. Okay, and that's what psychologists, therapists, and psychiatrists use to diagnose people. One trait: a willingness to disregard or violate the rights of others. Okay? He wasn't even feeding his own wife. His wife pissed him off. He told her, you can't eat for 2 or 3 days. Now, I agree with Tyler. You a grown-ass woman. Go fucking get you something to eat. But the fact that all of these women were scared to move, was scared to leave without his permission, that means something.
The man would require the women to stand up when he would walk in the room.
Right. And they couldn't look at anybody in the face. Like another guy, if we walked in the studio, they would put their head down and turn all the way around. Like, that's crazy. They were peeing in a bucket in a studio. That's crazy.
They weren't allowed to speak to each other. They had to fucking ask him to use the bathroom. Like you said, they had to pee in the fucking bucket and shit. Like this.
All right, so let me keep going. So, exhibits power and control. Has a lack of a conscience or doesn't show empathy because they use extremely positive words. And several women said R.Kelly is extremely charming. He's charming. People often fall in love with them. Skilled at claiming they have been victims and tell good stories. Well, he wasn't just telling a good story. He actually was a victim of abuse, right? What we said earlier, he got molested by his
older sister.
And wasn't it a guy that molested him as well?
Yeah, I believe you did say that you heard a guy molested him.
I heard he got molested by another family member as well too. Exhibits extreme behavior, and by extreme behavior, it's like the type of behavior that 90% of the general public wouldn't do in that moment, right? So that could be anything from just like even road rage. Like, some people's road rage is just different. Like, it's just different. Like, whoa, my nigga, you pulling out a gun? That's different. They just cut you off and you ain't got to shoot nobody. So does he exhibit extreme behavior? It seems like it. Rarely apologizes. Enjoys the suffering of other people. Has unstable, chaotic relationships. That definitely fits him. Uses deceit, coercion, and intimidation. That fits him. Superficially charming. That fits him. Violent, aggressive. That fits him. Even the girl that's suing him right now, the 19-year-old, said he was banging at her door like crazy, and as soon as he walked in, he didn't even say shit to her. He just started fucking her. Interprets other behavior as hostile, which then drives them to seek revenge. That one stuck out to me because listening to his wife, listening to some of those other women, they would do one thing wrong or something he didn't like, and then he would like totally punish them. You don't eat for 3 days. You don't eat for 2 days. You stand right there and don't fucking move. Like, why are you punishing these women that you allegedly love or you're in love with? Here's some real shit. Let's talk about this. Financial irresponsibility. So one of his assistants on the docu-series, you guys back me up on this, said that Robert has to watch where his money goes. He has to pick and choose what bills he's going to pay. Now, again, back to that net worth being down to $1 million. When you've been paying families off over and over and over again to avoid
for like
cases,
over 20 years.
And then you have a team around you that go get girls for you. If a girl tries to run away from your sex cult, you go retrieve her. You're paying law enforcement. And if he can pay law enforcement, who's to say he ain't pay the judge? And judges ain't cheap. Not on some robbery shit. We know that. So financially irresponsible. I mean, even right now, and people don't get me twisted. $1 million is a lot of money. But $1 million for someone who has done a lot in this industry and had a lot of success, there's no reason why R. Kelly should be worth only $1 million. And at that million, he's getting evicted from the Chicago studio. He owed $80,000.
The studio,
Yeah, he owed $80,000 in back rent, which is crazy. But he's staying at the Trump Towers. That ain't cheap. Financial irresponsibility. All right. And lastly, they tend to have little concern for the safety of others, and they have unsafe sex. This man has some type of STD. Too many people have said he had STD. Too many people have said they ain't got herpes from him. Allegedly, he gave one girl chlamydia. The Jocelyn Savage chick. Her parents are saying that she has herpes and chlamydia, and she got it from R. Kelly. The girl who's suing him right now, she has herpes. The one girl that went on the Breakfast Club, she said thankfully she didn't have herpes, but she talked to like people close to him, and they said he definitely had that package at that time that she was in that house with him. Like, think about it. Wow. He got at least 6 girls in that house in different rooms, and he go fuck any one of them whenever he want to, and he's fucking raw. Ain't no condoms. Ain't no condoms. I have to agree with Tyler. I don't think he's a full sociopath, but he definitely exhibits the behavior, or what they say in psychology world, he has some antisocial personality traits. And I was trying to see if he would fit as a psychopath, but I couldn't. He's not a psychopath, but he definitely fits some of the traits of a sociopath. So, R. fucking Kelly, man. R. Kelly. So guys, what happens here? Do we think that either in the state of Illinois or Georgia, something's gonna happen that's gonna stick?
I really hope to God so, because
is this nigga going to jail?
I really hope so, because this is going on for way too long, and it's so many innocent people that's affected by it. Now, and like I said before, what I do believe is that if he goes down, all parties involved should be held accountable. That goes for the team, that goes for the parents, that goes for everybody. But I really hope that something ends up sticking. Like, seriously, it has to stop, because it's not going to stop if he doesn't go to jail.
I have the biggest problem. I don't have the biggest problem with R. Kelly. I have the biggest problem with anybody that was young and that parents let them go with him. That's
right.
why I have the biggest. People were literally willing to sell their kids
for a few dollars.
For them to try and get famous for a few dollars. Like, I don't understand that. Why is money that much? Why does money mean that much to you to basically have your kid live with R. Kelly to pursue a music career? What do you think is happening? What would you think is happening if somebody was looking for your sister or something like that? If your sister was hanging around with somebody who was 10, 15 years older than her, how the fuck is that comfortable at all as a man?
Right.
There's no fucking way.
I don't
No
understand how
way.
R. Kelly is still alive. Honestly, like I'm surprised. Like, ain't no hit been put on him or something like that for all the shit that he's done.
That's that money, man. Like I said, it takes money to go to war. So that's why that net worth is
True.
so low,
Yeah.
bro. Like he paying all these people. That includes security. You know what I'm saying? Like that includes law enforcement. You know, that includes informants. That includes judges. So if anybody was trying to do something to him in the streets, especially in Chicago, first of all, this nigga on tour all the time. He always somewhere. So how you gonna do it? You trying to put a hit on him Tuesday? Nigga, he flying to Dallas. You trying to put him on what, Thursday? Nigga, he on his way to Germany. Like, he's a celebrity with money.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard.
I just don't understand how a chick saw a bucket in the corner and was good with just like that's where you gonna use the bathroom at days at a time. Like what kind? Like some of these people have no self respect, man. Like I just don't understand. How do you wake up one day and be like, damn, I got to piss and shit in a bucket today for like the rest of this week because that's what I'm gonna do. I love R. Kelly. Like I know some of that is some mental anguish going on, and you know a lot of people.
Yeah.
When they get into those situations, they just don't know how to get out. But like some of those women were like 30 years old.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Why you can't tell me that you should be in that kind of situation at that age.
I have a serious question about his ex-wife. Why the fuck does she still have his name?
The kids.
That's what I want to know.
The kids.
Some women don't change their last name because it's easier for legal documents and stuff, and
the kids
probably has a bunch of stuff in her name. Yeah, that too. Yeah, kids.
Even though the kids obviously the kids don't fuck with him, and he don't like. I don't know up to right now, but they definitely detailed in the docu-series he wasn't even paying child support.
Mm.
How is R. Kelly not paying child support? What the fuck? I hope she took his ass to court. I hope she wasn't that caught up in R. Kelly and who the hell he was for him not to take that nigga to court. Like, I hate to see our black women take black men to court, but when you have that much wealth, you're on TV, you're traveling, you have fame and resources at your disposal for a long
dude literally
time.
ran R&B.
Nigga, you need to pay child support.
Which is amazing. How the hell can you be 52 been making music for 25 years and only be worth $1 million?
Right. Because
he basically was running an underground sex slave, predatory, underage, teenage mafia.
Super facts.
Underground ring.
Which just shows which proves how sick he is. He's willing to go broke to live that type of sick lifestyle.
It ain't worth it.
Hell no.
It ain't worth it.
You would think R. Kelly would be worth $100 million.
Easily,
yeah.
Easily.
This
man made how many great albums? Chocolate Factory,
this dude has wrote songs for Michael Jackson, like big time people, like
Aaliyah,
arguably the greatest entertainer of all time, bro. Yeah, Whitney Houston.
No, wait a minute, Will. Now wait a minute. He didn't write no damn song for nobody. He spoke some words about what he thinks they should say.
Hey, so let me ask y'all this real quick, and we done with R. Kelly because this has been exhausting. Just doing the research has frustrated me. K. Michelle. We're in Memphis. We're in Memphis. K. Michelle is from Memphis. She is his mentee. She came into the industry through R. Kelly. Okay? So I don't know what age she was. I don't even know how old she is right now. But do we assume, based on what we know about R. Kelly, was she a victim too that just so happened to be able to release her music? Or if she wasn't a victim, why not her? Like, why didn't he target K. Michelle?
Because she was probably overage.
She's 33 right now. I'm not sure. She's been in the game for what? About 10 years?
It's I don't know if it's
If
been that
that,
long. I don't know if it's been that
I
long.
don't. Nah, it
Probably
has
like
been 10 years. I don't think.
seven,
Well,
8-ish, maybe.
yeah,
When?
like 7, 8 years, something like that. Yeah.
I feel like she's been out for like 10 years.
Hold on, let me.
No, cause what was that song? Cause you know she was married to Myth Hits.
She
When
is
she first kind of
33.
came into the game.
She signed her first deal in 2009 with Jive Records, and her first single was "Faking It" with Missy Elliott. So she's been in the
So
industry
10 years.
since
Oh
2009.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
right.
It's 10
It's been
years.
10
Yeah.
years. So if it's been
So
10 years, she's
23
33.
then.
She was 23. I mean, she was young enough. Maybe not young enough.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. She might not have been a victim because she wasn't fucking 12 years old.
She got introduced to R.Kelly, who then became her mentor. We gotta have some more
Quote
information
unquote.
of that. Let me see. She graduated from FAMU.
She is awful quiet during this though for her to be his mentee.
She said something about the docu-series that had Twitter at her throat. I didn't see what she said though, because people were talking about
in
canceling
defense,
her.
like
I
defending
guess
him.
so, because people were talking about canceling her. I'm like, y'all gonna cancel K Michelle?
K
Goddamn.
Michelle hasn't been relevant in a long time. Well, not in my
She's
eyes
very
anyway.
talented though. I will give her that much. She is very
She
talented.
very, she alright.
I ain't saying her music is hit. I ain't saying her music hitting like that, bro. I'm just saying she's super talented. Like as far as like she can create a song on the spot. Like she can play the piano. Like she can read music. Like she can write for real. Unlike R. Kelly, she can actually write like words together, spelled correctly.
Shit, I can write, and I'm not a musical genius.
No, you're not a musical genius, Will.
No.
So anyway, so I can't find any more information on how her and R. Kelly met, but maybe she was too old at the time. Maybe he already had too many in the house at the time. He didn't have extra room for her. Who knows?
And plus, judging by what I've seen of K Michelle, I can't picture her being manipulated into being a sex slave like that.
Yeah, she's strong-minded as hell. That's something about those Memphis females. She is strong-minded as hell. So.
You never know, man. Hey, the strongest of people get broke down by some people, man.
But that's not what he was looking for. He was looking for weak-minded girls. He was looking for weak-minded women.
Yeah. K Michelle doesn't strike me as weak-minded. And the women that I saw on the documentary didn't seem. I don't think K Michelle was his type because they didn't seem ratchet, so to speak. Not like K Michelle ratchet.
Oh, hold on.
What?
Hold on, nigga.
What?
I got some tea. Oh what, shit! Nigga? All right. K Michelle. This is back in October. K Michelle admits she learned a lot about being a musical artist from Kelly, but it came at a price. Being in that house offered its own set of dysfunctional issues for me.
Oh, shit.
I remember feeling trapped. If I leave this house, I'm never going to sing. K Michelle adds that initially she was grateful to R. Kelly because his endorsement helped her land a record deal, as he told execs that she was the female version of him. However, his support meant that she was trapped in his home with no access to her family. I'm having to stay there. God. I don't see my family. I don't see anybody but R. Kelly. The singer was eventually able to leave R. Kelly's house. Hold on, let me read that shit again. The singer was eventually able to leave R. Kelly's house, but not after the singer told her, ain't nobody gonna want you but Prince or Michael Jackson. Well, I told him you walk around with a book and you can't read, so anything is possible. She's so Memphis. I love K. Michelle. After leaving, K. Michelle said R. Kelly cut off all contact with her, refusing to work with her or speak to her. He really wouldn't talk to me. I lost my friend and my mentor. A lot of my career and a lot of the things that I went through at the core of it was a man. Oh, shit.
Wow.
Okay, then.
So she was a fucking victim.
She was in the house. Now, she didn't say sexually. She just said she couldn't leave the house. But if you in that house and we know R. Kelly, damn.
Yeah, if you...
Bro, I think she was a victim for real. Like, real shit. Like, I ain't playing.
Yeah.
She got cut off from her family, too.
See, that's the thing. See, people like that, he might be a sociopath because he tried to he has like a specific thing he does. He tries to isolate you from family and friends.
Yep.
So they can't
He
talk
tries
no
to
sense
get in your
into
head,
him.
tell you not this and you not that, and you're
But
not gonna be
she's
nothing
not.
without me and all
Yeah.
that.
So it makes sense that she can get the fuck out of the house with no problem as soon as she could, because she probably stayed for her career, but then finally she's like, man, fuck the shit. Because she's not one of those females. She's not a weak-minded female. She's not a female that lacks self-confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like K. Michelle.
Right.
Like,
and my thing is like, is trying to build a career. Is it worth it at the end of the day? Like, don't you have some dignity about yourself? Like, if you're that talented, you're gonna make it one way or the other. You don't have to sit there and.
She did. She
I don't
made it
know.
without him. Thankfully, she made it fucking without him. At that point, but I guess he already had put in a good word. So I really don't know, like, as far as the timeline. I'm gonna do some more research into that because I want to see exactly when did she sign that contract and when was she in that house and when did she get the hell out of that house. And I don't even know if that research is readily available. But shout out to K. Michelle though. We're not canceling K. Michelle. I fuck with K. Michelle. I just hope she wasn't physically, sexually abused by R. Kelly as well. But how can you be in that house and that
Man.
not happen?
I mean,
Damn.
statistics say that she probably was.
That house sound like a prison, man. Like
It really fucking does.
Soon as you walk in that motherfucker, the warden, R. Kelly, lock everything down. There'll be no eating.
I would hate to have a black light and be in that motherfucking house with a black light.
Speaking of which,
God.
remember the black? Did you remember the black room that chick was telling people about?
Yeah,
like that. That was like really like I was like, what the hell happened in that room?
Yeah, she freaked out. But here's the crazy thing too. Like, so you would think R. Kelly, with all of the sex talk that he has in his lyrics and his songs, you would think he'd be a master of pleasing women in the bedroom, correct? And every female that was on that docu-series, even his wife, when talking about their sex life, when talking about sex with R. Kelly, even the 19-year-old that's suing him right now, they all said the sex was awkward. It was different. It was weird. It was uncomfortable. It was embarrassing. What the fuck are you doing with a woman that's uncomfortable and embarrassing and awkward and what? That's not what that's about.
It was. See, that's the thing. It wasn't for them. It was for him. It was for him to hold power. He didn't care.
All right,
it's for him to have power.
Yeah, he didn't care about them getting off. He just cared about them doing whatever he wanted them to do to get him off.
All right, real shit. Let's talk about this, and we're done with fucking R. Kelly, y'all. And listeners, thank you for listening to us this long. We know this is a long episode, but this is all good ass breakdown of this crazy motherfucker. So, Dominique is from Chicago. She got moved down to Atlanta. If you guys know anything about Chicago and Chicago, what was the movement called, Tyler? Was that the drill movement?
Yeah, drill music.
Okay, so in drill music, just like Derrick Rose, how he has his hair right now, black boys, black males grow their hair out wild. Okay, it's power in the hair. They wear fitted caps. They usually wear supersized earrings. Okay, baggy clothes, and they rep the Bears, the Bulls, the Sox, White Sox, Cubs, whatever. Okay. Oh, what's the NHL team? Blackhawks?
Yeah, that's right.
Dominique, a beautiful 16, 17-year-old girl, when she met R. Kelly. Fast forward to the age of 21, that probably was the most shocking thing to see her. Go from a beautiful 16, 17-year-old girl to 21, she looked like a whole Chicago nigga. She looked like her hair was cut short. She had on baggy clothes. She looked like a dude.
She had all tattoos and shit.
She looked like a nigga. She looked like a man. She looked like a male. She looked like little JoJo. R.I.P. She looked like Chief Keef, O Block. What the? All right, so here's my theory. And again, the girl who was on, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, the light-skinned girl that was with R. Kelly at the age of 17. She didn't leave the house until, well, she's 28 now, so I don't know when she left the house. But she said on the Breakfast Club, she said that R. Kelly liked things in his butt. She said that. I'm saying this right now. R. Kelly is gay.
Gay?
Shout out to the LBGQTY community. I never can get those initials right. I promise you I'm not trying to be funny. Lesbians, gays, transvestite, shout out to y'all. I'm not God. I'm not judging y'all. That's not what we do on the Three Bearded Kings podcast. You live your life how you live your life. That's between you and God. Ain't got nothing to do with us. We're not in that position to judge you. But R. Kelly is a homosexual, for whatever that means. He turned a beautiful girl into a dude.
Literally.
I guarantee she wore a strap-on. I guarantee she was hitting R. Kelly from the back. I guarantee that nasty shit.
Yeah.
R. Kelly is gay. You can call him bisexual. The nigga is gay. For whatever that means. That's not us passing judgment. That's us stating the facts. The nigga is gay. He turned a beautiful girl into a whole nigga at the age of 21. And isn't it amazing that she's one of the few girls to get the fuck out of the house? Now, I will say this real quick. The shit that confused me at the end, they said that she went back after 3 days and then she escaped again. I don't know what the hell he's doing in that house. The sex is awkward. The sex is weird. Why the hell are y'all going back? I had a back and forth with a girl on Twitter. She was like, well, you know, men with money. I'm like, yeah, I'll continue men with money.
No.
Talk to me. Because this ain't no T.I. whatever you like type shit, right? We ain't talking Louis Vuitton, Birkin bags, and trips everywhere and all this shit. We talking about you stuck in a studio peeing in a fucking corner. We talking about you stuck in a house in Atlanta with no family around you, haven't seen your parents in years, can't get on social media. You got sneak to have a cell phone, and he tells you when you eat. He tells you when you sleep. And, oh yeah, let's have some weird fucking sex. That's embarrassing, and that's recorded.
They don't tell him who else he peed on.
Like, when women get with older guys, when women get with celebrities, it's for the exposure. It's for the fame. The man spends money, buys the woman nice fucking things. I didn't hear one lady say she got a Rolex. She got a trip to here and there. She got a bag. None of that shit. None of it. So I don't know what type of weird shit was going on in that house, but I hope they burn down every property that he has ever lived in, including the fucking Trump Tower in Chicago. And I hope R. Kelly go to hell with gasoline Timberlands on. Fuck you.
His properties are probably equivalent to the shit that happened in spring break in Miami last year.
Fuck him. Nasty bitch.
Yeah.
Let's get into the King's Weekly recommendations.
Behold, Simi, life, real life, a thing that we have been denied for far too long. Good morning, my neighbors! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
Will?
Yes, so my recommendation for this week is a show that was on Lifetime at first, but now it's on Netflix. It's called You. The shit is fucking dope.
Super dope.
It's about this guy who meets this girl, and he literally finds out every fucking thing about her before they actually start dating.
Ladies, be careful. Social media.
Right. And he has confrontations with people who are trying to hinder her from progressing in life and shit. And yeah, I
It's
don't
some
want to give it away, but
yeah,
yeah,
you is dope.
it's some deep shit. It's
It's
some
some
deep
real
shit.
Fatal Attraction type shit. Definitely.
Right,
Definitely.
exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Tyler, what you got, sir?
All right. My recommendation is for Stitch Fix. So I'm kind of lazy when it comes to like going to the stores and buying clothes and stuff. So I use Stitch Fix to have someone basically. I plug in my measurements for my shirt, what I wear in shirts and pants and slacks and suits and all that. And then they'll pick out 5 items based on my style profile that I create, and they'll send me 5 items on a frequency. I have my stuff come once a month. I have them send me items once a month, and then whatever I like of those 5 items, I keep, and if whatever I don't like, I send back. And then if I like all 5 items, I get a discount on it, and then you can talk to them about what kind of prices you want to spend. It's actually pretty cool.
Stitch
I
Fix.
recommend them. Yeah, Stitch Fix.
That's dope. Maybe Tyler, you can reach out to them and see, let them know about the podcast. See if we can get the Three Bearded Kings little sponsorship going. We'll promote them.
I might have to. Let's see.
Yeah, send them an email. Let them know. Shit. What did I say was going to be my my recommendation?
Shit,
We talked about it earlier, and I totally fucking forgot.
We did, dude, and I really
I forgot too. Fuck. I guess it's mine. I should remember. Damn it.
Fuck. What did you say?
What did I say? Fuck.
Was it like a show?
Was it a show? Ozark? No, it wasn't Ozark.
No, it wasn't Ozark.
What the hell am I watching nowadays?
Or was it like some music or some shit?
Was it music? I know Crit's album came out, but I don't think that was it.
It wasn't that. What like?
I got something. I got something.
Yeah.
Hold on. You guys talk. I got something.
Damn, I gotta make the noise again.
All right, I'm back, guys. All right, now this wasn't my original recommendation, but I am going to recommend this. Shit is called Monster, Season 2. It's a podcast. It's sponsored and produced by iHeartRadio and Tenderfoot TV. This season is all about the Zodiac Killer. So if you're into the crime shows, your SVUs, your Forensic Files, all that shit, the mystery is there, the production is on point. And if you know anything about the Zodiac Killer, there's a book out. There's also the movie The Zodiac that came out several years ago, featuring what's his name, Jake Gyllenhaal. It's a really good movie, but this gives us all of the backstory about the Zodiac. I was talking to some of my students about the Zodiac. We just get into some real conversations. They were asking me like, why do people, why do serial killers exist? Like, what is wrong with them? And so, going through this podcast, it gives you a lot of the backstory of everything that happened. They still don't know who the hell he is. They have an idea of who he might be, but just the details from them cracking the code. He sent them like an encrypted code to the local newspapers, and the teacher and his wife solved it. And this took place like in 1969 all the way through the 70s and stuff. So super dope. Check it out. Monster should be on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. And that's also where you can find the Three Bearded Kings.
Bitch.
Dope shit. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. Somebody say something?
I thought Tyler did.
You sound like Too Short.
No.
I thought Too Short was like, bitch.
I think that was Will.
Oh, yeah. He kind of looks like a light-skinned Too Short. All right, anyways.
Fuck you.
All right, show notes, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, Podbean. Shout out to our Patreon supporters. Support us on Patreon. $1 a month goes a long way. It's 2019. We definitely want to host some live shows. We want to travel between Memphis, maybe Nashville, maybe Mississippi, maybe Jackson. Hell, I don't know. Atlanta, maybe. Who knows? If you want us, we'll be there. As long as you're paying. Will?
Like us, you gotta love us so much. And don't forget that most importantly, you just gotta caress us and hold us, squeeze us so goddamn tightly.
Good.
Hey, Will, I know this older gentleman. He's kind of famous.
Oh no, I'm good.
If you ever need a place to stay in Chicago or Atlanta,
Oh fuck no.
you said you're going down for the Super Bowl, right? I got a house for you.
Nah,
Wait.
I'm not going to Atlanta for Super Bowl.
Oh, you should. I know a house.
You don't. Yeah, you might want to be careful going to Atlanta for the Super Bowl. You might come back with something.
I won't be doing anything that would give me something down there
You
anyway.
don't gotta do anything. That's the thing.
Pied
There's
Piper.
everywhere down there.
Put your fitted hat on, Will.
This is just in the air.
All right, y'all. Episode 17. We out.
We out, bitch.